Dad, I really want attention. Dad! How come you're ignoring me, Dad? What's that thing you're peddling? Dad, there's a rabbit outside. Dad! 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 Dad!
I'm Eric Gillespie. I'm a certified dog behavior consultant and a certified professional dog trainer with over 25 years experience. Yeah, we are going to talk today about that. Demand barking and demand whining.
Dogs use whining as a form of communication, and the meaning depends heavily on the context. It's not a bad behavior, but it is our job to figure out what your dog is trying to say and respond in a way that meets their needs without reinforcing unwanted behavior. Unless it's a medical emergency, don't immediately react to whining. Investigate the cause. Whining usually means a need is not being met. Do be sure you've provided all the basic necessities: food, water, a bathroom break, exercise, or even a toy. If the whining stops once the need is met, this is likely the cause.
If your dog's needs are not being met, you can do some enrichment exercises with a snuffle mat. We can use puzzle toys, stuffed food toys, flirt pulls for exercise, retrieve for exercise. Also, making sure your dog has lots of social support and stimulation from you is incredibly important, making sure that they know that you're there for them.
Excitement is another reason for whining. Some dogs whine when they're happy or anticipating something, like a walk or greeting you after time apart. When you suspect stress or anxiety as the cause, look for additional signs like pacing, panting, trembling. Triggers might include loud noises, new environments, or separation.
If there is fear or frustration involved in the whining or the barking, we need to address those first.
If the cause isn't obvious, a vet visit is important. Persistent or unusual whining can indicate discomfort or illness. Also, do be sure to have your pet seen annually for a routine physical, and if your dog is a senior, twice per year. This is important because there can be underlying signs of pain. For example, I've diagnosed ear infections and dental disease on patients that my client had not noticed. And this leaves us with our main talking point for the day. If you've ruled everything else out, then it's probably attention-seeking whining. So Eric, what do we do?
Really, our best and kind of only option is to ignore the behavior. We've all heard the saying, ignored behavior goes away, eventually. Sometimes it takes a long time, even a couple weeks. I truly think it takes 4 to 6 weeks to modify or change behavior. But you should be seeing some differences in a couple weeks.
And it is essential that every person that interacts with your dog be on board with this. Your parents, your kids, your siblings, your neighbors, guests that come over to the house, even your piano teacher. And within the first 1 to 2 weeks, it will get worse before it gets better.
We call that an extinction burst. It's actually a very good sign if you've been ignoring a behavior and then you see an uptick in it a little bit. That might mean that your dog is just giving it that one last shot before they decide to quit the behavior.
And look, guys, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't sound that hard. It can't be that hard, guys. I mean, tell them, Eric.
It's incredibly hard.
Yeah, it turns out it's incredibly hard. Chances are, nearly all of us are reinforcing our dog's whining without even realizing it. How do I know that? Because it happened to Eric in the beginning of this video. While we were recording, Watson barked at Eric, and Eric looked him straight in the eye and talked right back.
Yeah.
And then there's me. You know, dear viewer, I asked my wife the other day what I'm like around Watson. She gave me a pretty good summary.
Baseball game. Something, something, something. Baseball game.
Dad, I need something and I don't know what it is. It's not fair. Dad, how come you're not reading my mind?
Oh, Watson, it's opening day.
You weren't supposed to say anything, Dad. You have to start over now.
I am very fully aware that we are using punishment. This is known as negative punishment, taking a resource away from the dog to decrease the likelihood that they engage in a behavior again. This is a much kinder, simpler punishment than any form of positive punishment, which would be adding an aversive, like a tug on the leash, pinch collar, choke chain, stuff like that. We don't want to use stuff like that. That may increase fear and it may increase frustration. The problem with attention-seeking behavior is that it's made worse by variable schedules of reinforcement. This is the strongest schedule of reinforcement that we have in behavior, meaning that if he barks at Dr. Sepp once and he gets attention, He barks at Dr. Sepp again and he doesn't get attention, and then he barks 4 more times with no attention, and then the 5th time he barks, Dr. Sepp says, "It's okay, Watson, what a good boy you are." He might have just learned to bark even more for attention. So we want to be really careful about making it worse by only giving attention at different times. It's really important to be consistent with not giving him attention when he's barking. Want to be really careful about this. The more inconsistently you give your dog attention for barking and whining, the worse the problem's probably going to get. So I always encourage people to journal and pay attention to when your dog is doing it. A lot of dogs figure out that, like, when an owner picks up their phone, that's when they start barking, because they know that that phone ringing means they're going to get ignored for the next 30 minutes. Also, when people log into Zoom calls, I've seen dogs start to associate that as a cue to start barking, because that means they're probably going to get ignored. So starting to address those different cues and triggers might be a good idea.
So you're probably asking yourself, when can I give my dog attention? Well, first we want you to wait about 10 seconds.
Once he quits whining, we're going to approach him, name the behavior of being quiet with a quiet.
And finally, you get to reward your dog with a treat for being calm and quiet. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
Baseball game. Something, something, something baseball game.
Dad.